Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just currently at the moment, I'm still waiting for Robert to log in. So please bear with us. I've tried phoning, emailing, and messaging. Next stop, we'll be going out and doing smoke signals. So bear with us. We've done a trial run, which worked really well. I just can't quite find out why he's not here yet, but I'm sure he will be. Hello, Jenny. Just explaining, everybody. Hello, Pam. Yeah, just explaining at the moment, Robert's not with us. Luann and I've sent messages, emails, and phone calls, and he hasn't logged in just as yet. Hello, Sam. You're right. So please bear with us. I'm sure he will join us very shortly. Don't know what to do now. Shall I sing at you? No, you wouldn't like that. Just quickly check in. Nope, no emails. Got the message in Facebook and not on phone. Right. Hello, Patrick. Good evening. Margaret, darling. Rob, good evening, sir. Paula, Jennifer, Denise. I don't know if you called it earlier on. Susan. Hiya. At the moment, Robert hasn't logged in. I don't quite know what the problem is. We did do a little dry run the other day and everything worked absolutely wonderfully. Give us a song. You wouldn't like that, Jenny. Marion. I'm sure he'll be here very shortly. Christina, good evening. Deborah, we're just waiting for our guest to log in. Don't worry, I shall be taking all this off of his account. Oh, please. Something happened. Let's try the phone again. Don't get annoying people on the telephone. Especially if they're trying to sell me solar heating. Katie, Mary, are you right, sweetie? Just trying to get hold of tonight's guest. Tony, hello. See you tomorrow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, yeah. And he's in the room. Didn't work. Hello, Heidi. How are you? Oh, this is quite frustrating. Really looking forward to tonight, and we got it all lined up, everything ready, and nothing. Phone a friend. Yes, I'm looking down the list of people here, Deborah, thinking, there's somebody who I can pull in. How about you, Mr. Monahagn? Would you like to talk some healing with us tonight? He's just done a double take at his computer. No, I can't. It's snowing. Oh, the joys of all this. Don't want you laughing at, Patrick. I'm serious. I really don't know what to do. So frustrating. No, nothing. Hello, Joni, all the way from America. Marion, hello. We're just waiting for our guest to join us. No idea what's going on. Just double check the email sent. Yeah, all there. Hello, Dawn. How are you, my darling? So. Ugh. Well, we're meant to be having a wonderful evening talking about healing with Robert Bourne. He really is. He's such a nice guy, and I hope. Why don't you tell us about your spiritual journey? You never know, Deborah. It is a bit nerve-wracking coming online. Yes, spiritual. Funny enough, um, Jennifer, I did start off as a healer. I started off on the path on Reiki healing, and I'm sure a lot of people out there probably relate to this, the healers in the group. As I was working with people, just things were coming into my head, and I thought, what's all this then? And after I'd finished the first two courses, the two teachers who were looking after me, lovely ladies, said, actually, you want to go on to the mediumship side and then carry on your healing with the spiritual side, spiritual healing, because obviously they want to talk to you. So, okay. I was quite happy being a healer. Yes, Jennifer, see? Hello, Ian. Are you all right, mate? Yeah, we've been let down at the moment by our speaker for tonight, which really is a shame. I really hope there's nothing serious that's prevented him from being with us. He's not that far away over in Wimborne. He's not in the Wareham Triangle. There's a little town called Wareham, and their internet is absolutely diabolical. Never ever talk to anybody. Is that a yes, Patrick? You are a little star. So, ever resourceful and with some wonderful people who follow us and support us, we will have another healer on, all the way from Sunny Island. So I'm just sending the link to him. Patrick, the link is on Facebook Messenger. And if you could wear earbuds or headphones, otherwise you do tend to get a little bit of feedback, mate. But the link is on there on your Facebook Messenger. Click on there and just follow the instructions on screen. It's quite straightforward. Thank you very much. Hold on, he's just. And if you could wear earbuds or headphones. Hold on, I'll just turn the video on Facebook. Oh, this is all good fun tonight, isn't it? Hello, Chris. You're right, Julie. So, Patrick, I have sent you a link on Facebook Messenger. I don't know if I can do it on here, actually. Copy and paste. Give it a go. And it's also now in the message box here, Patrick. So if you copy and paste that into your browser, you'll have to sign into StreamYard. You don't download anything, enter your name. But if you can wear earphones or earbuds, it really helps with the quality of the sound. Yes, Dawn. How did you start, my darling? You know, you're quite an active medium now. It's funny how I don't know if a lot of people have experienced this, but you come into spiritualism or you have some dealing with spiritualism or spirituality at an early age. Go away, live your life, do whatever, yeah, get it all out your system. But then later on in years, you just sort of like fall back into it. It's always like that seed has been planted. I always marvel at that. So many times people come into the church new and talking and say, "Oh yeah, well my mum used to drag me along to the church services, but I never really got into it. But here I am today." So I think it's great when that happens. Oh Pam, hello Jan. We just have a bit of a issue tonight. Our guest hasn't joined us, but a gentleman has offered to step in. in his place, so just let him sort out how to get into StreamYard. Hi, Di. It's very simple. I wish I'd done this on Zoom now. I could have brought you straight in there. Oh, psychometry, Deborah. Love. Oh, I love psychometry. Those of you who may not have come across psychometry, psychometry is where you will pick up an object, and it's normally something personal. Oh, the green screen's affecting my watch. It's normally something personal, like a watch or a ring, and they will pick that up, and they will get a story from that object, because we're always putting out our energies, and that gets picked up and stored in various little inert things. There used to be services many years ago, and I would love to have access to a medium that can do this, where everybody would put an object on a tray at the beginning of the service with the medium out of the room, and then the medium would come in, start picking up these objects, start the reading from the objects, and the really good ones could link it to the person. That's great, isn't it? That's so cool. Wouldn't we love to see that nowadays? So, yes, Deborah, you can pick up. I run a psychometry as part of my development circle with Mix Up the Nights. I go through different areas. And I said to somebody, what was it? It's got to belong to you. And it's not, what was the other caveat to it? It's got to belong to the person who's put it in, and it's not to have any identification on it so they can pick that up. So somebody put in something which belonged to their missus with a big message on it saying, to my oh, hello, Patrick. So that rather blew it. Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Great pleasure to introduce a lovely gentleman tonight, all the way from Ireland, the lovely Patrick Monahagn. Good evening, sir. Patrick, our white knight in armour. How are you?
To get on, actually.
Okay. Little. Try again with the sound there, Patrick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just a little bit clippy, but no, that's fine. Patrick, you are a healer, are you not, sir, amongst your many talents?
Yes. Yeah,
I'm really sorry, Patrick. I don't know if you've got access to a cable from your router to your device, but your sound is. We're just getting the odd click and.
Oh, look. Let me get some.
Okay, yeah, we'll bear with you. Listen, I'll bear with anybody as we're online at the moment. You know what's going to happen now, don't you? Robert's going to join. But anyway. Oh, hello. So we'll just stop that noise just for a moment there while Patrick sorts himself out. Isn't this wonderful? This is the sort of nightmare you dread when you're running a church. This sounds like digging, probably is. Yeah, when you're running a church and you get to like 3 or 4 minutes before the service starts and you're thinking, please no, please no. Yes, he may well have gone there, Dawn. First night nerves. There we go. Right, how are we?
See.
Oh, that's sounding better.
Let's see if we can get this to work now.
That sounds a lot better,
Untangling.
Patrick.
Does it? And I haven't
Yeah.
even plugged him in yet, so
Well, something you've done because it was you were intermittent like that. You were
perfect. Okay, I'll leave it like that then.
absolutely, yeah. Don't touch a thing. Don't move for the next hour.
Don't move, exactly.
So, Patrick, very good evening to you, sir.
Good
We,
evening, Lawrence. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, yeah. We've swapped a few jokes online and little
Exactly.
comments, but I'm not really spoken to you before. I know of your work. I know you've worked with the lovely Sue Townsend.
That's right,
Uh,
lovely lady.
yeah, yeah, she's been such a help. She's put me in touch with so many people that I would never have known existed, including tonight's guest. So, Sue, it's all your fault. Uh, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, please, Patrick?
Well, I was seeing spirits ever since I was a little child, but tried to ignore it, and I was always scared. I had a big phase of astral traveling all the time, and I couldn't work out what was going on. I sort of tried to block everything because I was not that way. I was too scared for it.
Mm,
It's come back several times during my working life, and then I started there again last maybe 14 months ago. A lady came to my house who was a medium, and she walked in, and first thing she said to me is, "Oh my God, you're a top healer." I said, I don't do healing. She said, "You do." I said, "I don't know anything about it. Sorry." She said, "You do. You only have to talk to people or touch them." And she said, "You heal them that way." And I said, "Well, I was thinking of doing Reiki." She said, "No, you're better than that." And I went, "Oh, okay then." So she started discussing things with me, and from there on, I've been doing healing. So it's relatively new to me, but I have had some great results, to be honest.
it is wonderful, and it's awesome in the simplicity of it. And it's what I always try to get over to people. Do you know what? Working with spirit is simple.
Yeah,
We don't have these ceremonies or big, clever intros to it. Do you know what? He, like you just said, the lady said to you, you do it. And
yeah,
it's as simple as walking down the street, smiling at people, because you smile at somebody, and especially at this time, as you may have gathered, I'm a bit of a chatter. So
famous
when I'm out,
yourself.
yeah, when I'm out, I'll always hello or just make a comment to people. If they take me up on it, great. If they don't, great. But most of the
Yeah,
time they do, and I often wonder. I just think, yeah, I was there at the right time with the right character, just to engage that little bit, and just by talking, um, healing on some level has occurred. So absolutely wonderful.
absolutely. Yeah, it's so true because a few kind words goes a long, long way, Lawrence, doesn't it?
It does, because it's not just the words; it's the energy and the intent which is
Exactly.
given out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a great one for intent and try to get the energy behind it. Very useful, actually, sometimes. If you have a bit of conflict with people and words are said, don't listen to the words. Try and pick up on what the energy is behind it, because often you find it's like an insecurity or a fear or a failing that's actually promoted. So don't get drawn into the verbal debates. Go into the energies, and that's a
Exactly.
wonderful. Yeah, that's such a wonderful thing with healing, because we can use those energies on this medium, talking with people, sharing experiences. You know, there's 39 people out there tonight listening away to this. On some level, they will all be touched. Healing of the mind, the body, the soul, the spirit, just that togetherness. And
But
that is healing.
I'm a great believer that everyone can do it, though, Lawrence, to be honest. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot that don't believe in themselves. And I must admit, I was one of the main ones. I never believed in anything like that. But I've been told it so many times, you have to believe. And then when you start doing things, and my God, that it's healed and it's all working, and even long distance healing, and you're getting reports back that, oh my God, thank you for everything you've done, you start to believe in yourself, because that's the hardest part, is believing.
It is. It is. And any dealings that we have with spirit, be it mediumistic, healing, whichever realm we're working in, we are the one that limit the spirit power, not the other way around. Spirit power
Yeah,
is infinite.
exactly.
If you send a thought around the world and trust and believe in that working, you're opening the door, because I've seen it so many times with people, either mediumistically in the main, but also in the healing realms. Of one of the things I notice when people are asking for healing for somebody, they they tend. I try to get people not to visualize what they want from that interaction, and it's very
Yes,
easy to do, because people putting people's names in for healing know that person, but they have this image then of whatever that they want from that healing. But I always
exactly.
try and say, no, let it go, let that image go, just healing, just pure healing. Get into that zone where it's flowing, and don't let that come into it, because the minute that comes into it, we immediately start to marginalize and put borders in where there shouldn't be.
Exactly. That's so true. So true. But if you just go with what you feel, and see, I've actually got a new thing where I was told by a medium that I've got a doctor that wants to step in with me and let me for me to let him in so he can work with me. And I've started doing that the last couple of weeks, and I've actually sent healing to people, and they said they can actually feel it now when they get it. So that's
Yeah,
amazing, in my opinion.
it is. We've got a question here, and a very good one, from Emma Gregory. Is, how do you
Okay.
practice sending distance healing? Really good question, Emma.
That's a very good question. I all I do is I say my prayers, and sometimes I say a full rosary, depending, and I just send it out to the universe, and I pray to God, I pray to Jesus, and then I pray to all the angels, archangels, and saints, family members, and loved ones. That's all I do, and just send out complete pure thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely great.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, in Emma, whoever you ask this question from, you will get their own little quirks. Patrick there's just given a wonderful way of the way he gives his distance healing. I tend to operate very early in the morning, because my mind's sort of like in that semi-conscious state, and the nonsense of the day hasn't come in yet. But
Yeah,
I just try and visualize them as smiling, literally, and
exactly.
I just
And the
think,
other thing I must say, Lawrence, is
yeah,
I always put my hands out. I open my palms out and face them upwards, and I ask for the power of the universe, so I'm not draining myself, because you'll want to go back to sleep if you don't.
yeah, yeah, very good, very good. With, as with mediumship, as with philosophy, so it is with healing. Everybody's got their own technique, and that's fine, because we are all individuals. We
Exactly.
all vibrate slightly differently. We all work on different frequencies. We all operate in different realms of healing. I do like that comment there, because actually I was having this discussion with somebody today. Susan Brown, you're in the room, and we're talking about in circles. And I was always taught in circle, when I'm sitting for development, my palms are down, but when I'm doing healing, my palms are up.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
possible? How?
sorry,
Oh,
Lawrence.
that's okay. I'm just looking down the questions there. How would you recommend getting started?
Well, when I started, I was told that I was a good healer. So I actually when the lady told me how to do it, I sat there and I actually rubbed my hands together to generate like a heat in my hands. And she said to me, "What are you doing that for? You don't need to do that. Just pray, set out your good intentions, and take it from there." So just do the
Yeah,
same. It's
yeah,
everything's about love, really, isn't it, Lawrence?
it is. It is, and that word, in its fullest sense,
Yeah,
it's understanding. Oh, I love my new top. I love my
yeah,
backdrop tonight. I love the fact that you're here and talking. But that's not love. When
no,
you sit quietly uh, and link into that meditation and get that all perceiving, all invading, all overwhelming sense of deep love, that's when you're starting to get into that vibration. So,
exactly.
Sam, how would you recommend getting started? There are various healing circles, healing groups online. The Harry Edwards Sanctuary. Harry Edwards, for anybody who's not aware, was a very great notable healer of his time. His sanctuary at Burrows Lee, where he worked from, Harry's back in spirit now, but his team continue his work, and they do almost daily healing meditations that you can join in with, and just start to feel that vibration. But any sort of work with spirit, how would you recommend getting started? Is just start simply. Yeah. Always
Yeah,
open up in a prayer. Always. Whenever I open up to spirit and whenever I talk to anybody, I always recommend you open up in a prayer. And it doesn't have to be a big, clever prayer. And it doesn't matter if your beliefs differ from orthodoxies. I say to people, I don't care if you believe the universe is run by a giant tree frog, as long as you believe in something. That is the most important thing. So open up honestly and simply with your eyes shut, no distractions. Time it. Don't sit there forever and ever and ever in a day. Just say, okay, well, I'll do 5 minutes a week on a Friday to start with. Make it a commitment in a way of that time, even though it's just 5 minutes. Spirit love that dedication because it shows actually that you're there really trying to do it and not just, oh, I want to do healing. Yeah, well, that didn't work. Okay, well, now I'm going to be a medium, and I'm not being disrespectful to people. It's the same with life. If you go in the kitchen and bang out a meal in 30 seconds because there you go, eat that, whoopee. But if you're out in the kitchen for 2 hours and really making a nice meal,
mm,
and then you get, oh, it's okay. Then you need a healer for whoever just said it was going to, oh, it was okay.
exactly. But what I would say, Lawrence, is
Yeah,
first you got to heal yourself before you do anything. That's the main thing. Make sure you're happy in life and you've got through all your obstructions and problems and heal yourself in that way, and then continue on. Because once you're healed, you can do it.
yeah, yeah. But there's always been this saying, as long as I've been drawing breath in spiritualism, you never meet a well healer. There is a
No.
tendency for a lot of the healers to have actually gone through quite some processes of health issues in their life. I personally think that is part of the empathy link, that people, how can you empathize with somebody if you've not endured something yourself? That sounds a bit grim, but I
It's
do see
true.
it time and time again with healers that they have had these issues. That's not
Yeah.
to say only people who've been poorly can be a healer, but I think that experience opens doors within them because that natural. I had cancer myself. I've gone through
Mm,
that, all the treatments, etc. And I can relate to that when somebody I'm giving healing to and it's a cancerous condition. I also had depression in my youth, and I can relate to that. When people come in and talking to them in about 2 seconds, it's like, oh, the black dog. Oh, okay. And and you just be able to switch into their vibration so much easier because you understand it yourself.
That's very true. Over the course of our lifetimes, we have many things that we struggle with. I've had lots where things have gone wrong, and I've had major things that's happened. And they say things make you stronger. I'm not so sure, but about 3 years ago, I actually was walking across a hotel room, and I conked out, and the next thing I was floated up above my body, and I could see myself laying on the floor. And the next thing, woof, I was up talking to my wife's dad who had passed, and he was telling me to go back, go back. So,
Wow.
we do have these things. It's
Yeah.
not you can't tell everyone because they don't believe you either. So
This is it. You have to sort of like develop this aloofness isn't the right word,
mm,
but I'm pretty much at that stage. I'll say things to people, and if they take it, great. If they don't take it, absolutely fine.
exactly.
But I know what I'm saying comes from here, and it's through experience, and it is
Yeah.
through deep experience. So Jan Paul's asking, how do you contact your receivers of healing during this time?
Well, when I say all I do, I pray and I set out good intentions, like I say, and I just keep praying, and then I ask them all individually. And then when I've asked them to send healing to whoever I have the person, I then thank them, and then I say more prayers, and that's what I do.
Okay. I think Jan's asking there more in the context of the person you are sending healing out to. So, how does that feedback come about from the person you've sent healing to?
Um, Quite often, I could get a message through on Facebook or Messenger or text, and thank you for the healing. It's absolutely fantastic. It's worked, and that's how I get them. So, but you
Yeah.
don't
So,
always get a message.
yeah. So, yeah, Jan, it's so I think what we're saying is a lot of it's coming electronically through Facebook Messenger, emails, etc. Also, as we've got a case in here tonight, somebody's asked for healing for somebody, which is wonderful, and that name's on the list there. So any healers in the room, if you can spare that thought. But a lot of the time, I always admire healers as mediums because they are mediums. People say, "Oh, you got mediums and healers." Well, no, a healer channels healing energy. A medium channels spirit communication. So we're both mediums. We just do
Yeah,
different things, and that's fine. And I always admire the healers because as a medium, I get that instant confirmation that what I'm giving is correct or not, and go
yeah,
back and clarify. So I get that instantly. With healers, it can be quite a long process, and you don't get that instant. Put your hands on somebody and they suddenly throw away their walking stick and go skipping off down the high. We'd love that to happen,
it'd be
but
amazing, wouldn't it?
oh, it would. But we've also got to remember that we're here to go through things in this part of our life. We've got to experience some of these things. I always remember a lovely story. My mum and dad are very good healers, and they used to go out a lot to people's homes. So that was in the days when A, we could mix, and B, you could trust people. But they were asked to go and see a lady who was in hospital, and she had pancreatic cancer, which is quite a nasty cancer. It's a very painful and debilitating one. They went for 7 nights on the trot. Paul Hospital's just up the road from us here. Went and saw her, pulled the curtains round, gave her healing. The eighth night they went up there and they went towards the bay and noticed the bed was empty. The nurse saw them and went, "Oh, yeah, I'm really sorry, she passed." During that conversation, the son of the lady they've been given healing to was there. And bless his heart, he's just lost his mum. I would not decry what you said because he just lost his mum. and he had a little bit of a Paddy. Oh, sorry,
That's all right. That's all right.
he had a
I
little bit of
I know.
a little bit of an upset. Bless his heart. The poor little bugger's
Mm,
just lost his mum. And sort of like launched into my mum and dad saying, "Well, look, could your bloody healing did, you know, my mum's dead, blah blah blah." Mum and dad were quite upset. Obviously, not going to have a go back at him. He went, but the nurse said, "Excuse me, I do need to say something. That cancer she had is very, very painful. She didn't have any painkillers in the last week." So that lady was, you know, on her path. That event was to be, but through the healing, she didn't spend those 7 days permanently, you know, semi-conscious and just out of it to try and alleviate the pain.
that's
So yeah,
fantastic.
healing it is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. So healing will work on the level it's needed, not what we want. Is probably the essence. And I don't even know I
Yeah.
got there, but never mind.
It's true.
Deborah,
Yeah.
yeah, Deborah Adams saying if I do healing, my palms tingle.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I get that as well.
My hands
I
actually throbbing. It's like the blood's pumping through them. You can feel it. They're pulsing.
yeah, yeah. I'll go along with that. That pulsing sensation.
Yeah.
And I often find as well, if I'm working with somebody and say it's like I'm drawn to the shoulder area, I'll have one hand towards the front, one hand towards the back. One hand will be really hot and one hand will be really, really cold. That's quite annoying, that is, because I don't like cold hands.
Yes, that happens. They're either freezing cold or they're boiling hot with me, and there's no in between.
To coin
So
that phrase, you can't strike the happy medium.
no, exactly.
Oh, Joan, very quick question. Can I elaborate on the difference in the palms up and palms down? Joan, it's just something I was taught in circle. And you pick up these, they become an automatic thing that you do. That was pertinent to the person that taught me, and it stuck with me. At the end of the day, do you know what? If you completely let go, if you completely surrender to spirit, I don't think it matters if you've got your hands up, hands down, or in your pocket. But it's just one of those. It's a bit like a psychological thing. One church, Eastbourne Church, lovely healers in there, and they had one piece of music only they would ever play when they were doing the healing. And the vice president, is the husband and wife ran it. She was the vice president. She said, "I play that music especially for the healers because that's their trigger. That's how they've developed. That's how they've been trained. So the minute that piece of music comes in, because we are still this physical being with the physical chemistry going on, as well as that spirit being and the ancestors as well around us, but to calm that physical side, that piece of music came in, and you could actually feel it in the healing room. They had a lovely healing
Mm,
room in there, and you could feel it. You'd be in there, everybody would sit, healers would come out, get ready, stand next to where they're going to give the healing, and the music would come on, and you feel it. You feel that energy come in. It's like, wow, what's that? That's really good. I like that. Also, at the oh, oh, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Healing Sanctuary at Liss, Silver Star, Silver Birch spoke through them. It will come to me. If you ever go to this healing sanctuary at Liss, and the name will come to me, their healers are like regimented. And again, that's such an energy. They come out, these healing sanctuaries are huge round buildings. At the what? Not White Star, Silver Star. Oh, somebody prompt me. It's big round sanctuary, and you seat at the front when the people want healing, and the healers come out from the back and walk around all in the White Eagle Lodge. Thank you, Susan. I'm getting old. They come out from the back and they walk around in their robes and gather, stand there and start the heat. You know, it's incredible to watch and experience, even if you're not receiving the healing. It's just like, you just feel that energy shift a step. You just think, oh, that's good. That is very good. Patrick, you very kindly
It's
stepped in
amazing.
here and I'm doing all the talking. Tell me to shut
No,
up. I
it's all
really don't
right.
mind.
No, I like to listen too. I'm sort of surprised to be here, to be honest, Lawrence.
I'm just grateful for you. Do you know what? I was looking at your name the other day and I thought I must get in touch with him to book him up to do something. There you go. No
So
sooner
that
had
was
I
quick. Yeah.
thought. Dawn, lovely Dawn. I love your pictures of your kids, Dawn. you deserve a sainthood, I think. Yeah, again, good question there. Why are there specific SNU certified healers and so much need for technique when it's just about that beautiful, simple, loving energy from spirit? What's your thoughts on that, Patrick?
Well, I went to Arthur Findlay College with the NSU, and I did a course there. But when I finished, they wanted money for a certificate after I finished, and I didn't pay that money, and I haven't got a certificate, so
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say for that.
Everybody listening, this is not a
I'm not
bashing.
knocking them, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's not a bashing.
No,
This is a discussion and a debate.
yeah, yeah. It's
I
just
do.
probably me being tight, Lawrence. I wouldn't pay them extra money.
Oh, I don't blame. You know what? We've got to do. We've got to do what feels right for ourselves. I
Mm,
keep getting pushed and cajoled into taking up a ministryship, and I don't want to. I don't want to be a minister.
mm,
I do what I do, and I really don't want to be a minister. You know, it's just one of those things. Some people, and again, probably getting back to what we were talking about earlier with the um, physiology, the mindset of things. You know, some people need those disciplines. Some people don't need those disciplines.
yeah,
At the end of the day, I always say spirit will what spirit want. That's it. I do like aspects of the SNU. I do like these accreditations for properly public speaking. I do like the accountability at times. Other
yeah.
areas, a bit mindful of. But yeah, explore every avenue. There are so many different healing ministries out there working in
Yeah.
so many different ways. And do you know what? They're all right and they're all wrong. It's as simple as
It's,
that.
it is because you take whatever you want from any bit, and that suits you. That's great. You know, you can't take everything on board. Just take what you need.
Yeah. It's a bit like if you look at it on a spiritual aspect, I suppose. Some kids will do really well in a very disciplined school and a very disciplined environment. They will react very well to that and achieve and learn and do exactly what they're in school for. Other kids won't do well in that environment because they need a much more free environment, a much
Hmm.
more do what you need to do when you need to do it environment. And if you took the kids from the disciplined environment and put them in the undisciplined environment and vice versa, both lots of kids would then sort of like suffer because the kids that didn't want discipline are suddenly being told what to do. The kids that are craving discipline are being told do what you want. And I think that's sort of a good spiritual way of looking at all these different practices, courses, centres, whoever, organisations. If it resonates with you, go for it. If it doesn't resonate with it, don't go for it. It's
Mm,
simple. It's my philosophy
exactly.
on life. Simple.
Exactly. Very simple, isn't it?
Oh, lovely Sue's in tonight. Hello,
Oh, is that? Yeah.
Sue.
I can't read the writing though. I need my glasses. So, is
No,
it
so
so big?
typing. Don't worry, mate. It just
It's
says,
just very small.
Patrick, do you find animals are drawn to you, and do you send out healing to them? Love it. Lovely
Yes,
question.
actually, I do because I've had robins land on my head. I went to Australia one time and I was in a park and three parakeets or wild parrots landed on my head, my arms and everything, my shoulder.
Oh, lovely.
So I've got cows obviously and they come up to me and yeah, I get on with animals very well. Probably better than I do some people, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll second that. I remember I was out with a couple of non-spiritual friends, non-spiritualist friends, put it that way. And we're in a pub. Shock horror. We're in this pub.
Something.
I know, they were the days, eh? Uh, and this couple walked in. They had a lovely dog, absolutely lovely dog. He only had one eye, bless him. But they sat down, and the dog was about 6 foot away from me. And I looked at the dog, and the dog turned around and looked at me, came wandering over. And I can't explain this, but I can only tell you what happened. The dog told me he had a bad hip. He just came, and I knew it. So I was there going, all right. And he turned, so put the rear quarters towards me, and I'm putting healing on. The woman said, "Oh, are you all right with the dog?" I said, "Yeah, it's fine." It's a poor little a poor little mite. I said, "What's the matter with his hip?" She went, "How do you know there's something wrong with his hip?" I thought, all right, how am I going to get out of this one?
Explain that one.
Yeah, hello. Actually, as things were, they were quite open. I said, "You told
Mm.
me." She went, "Oh, what are you, the dog whisperer?" And I went, "Well, no, you just showed it." And she went, "Yeah, he has. He's got a really bad defamation there that they're working on." I was like, "Oh, come on, mate." And bless his heart. Oh, I've got to share this because I can't let this one go. It's awful, but it's funny. He only got one eye. She continued to say, I said, "What happened to the eye?" She said, "Oh, the vet shot him." And I went,
What?
"Pardon?" She said, we live next door to the vet. We've got a lot of land because it was one of those areas. And she said, and he was out shooting and didn't realise our dog had run up to join them. And he ended up with their vet accidentally shooting their dog. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
Give me the name of that vet. I
oh.
won't go there. Poor little mite. But yeah.
Oh gosh, that's sad.
There we go. Bit off track, but yeah, good question, Emma. Like questions. You know what, everybody? No question is stupid if you don't know the answer. Always
Exactly.
think of that way. How can you start your imagination visually? Any tips, Patrick?
My imagination is flying away with me at times, so I can't really answer that one, to be honest, Lawrence. Mine's always active, so
Yeah,
mm,
sometimes it is quite difficult to know what is given and what is there.
yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
probably you want what's called guided meditations, Emma, I would suggest. And if you go on YouTube and type in guided meditations, that's where the orator will start talking, usually to the backdrop of music, and just building a little picture in your in your mind with words. So it'll be like, you're walking up a staircase, you're in a country, and it's all those different types of things, but they're well worth doing because you find that activates your imagination because a lot of them they'll work with all your senses. So you're walking, you're seeing, you're hearing, so you're activating your senses, and you will find that story will progress at the end of the meditation. I don't know if you've seen any of my meditations, but I build a little bit of the story and then leave people, and then their imagination or the impingement of spirit will build upon that story and give things in that I'd never mentioned and didn't think about. But oh yeah, because I had this start to come in. So yeah, give that a go, Emma.
Very good.
Right. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Yeah, lovely Tony Goswell picking up on that theme there about you never see a well healer, and it does help. If you've had those life challenges, it really does help. When I had cancer, this is no offence to the lady, bless her heart. I had a social worker assigned to me, which I thought, oh, fine, okay. And honestly, no offence, I'm stood there and they brought in this very, very young girl of about 17 with bells on her sandals and a long tie-dye dress. And I was just like, I can't relate to you, my love. I'm sorry. I can't open up to you. It's my failing, whatever, I don't mind. But there was just no empathy there. But then my Macmillan nurse was brilliant. He's a guy, and he was a star from the
Mm.
word go. So that empathy power is very, very pertinent to things because the minute he came onto the scene, bang, everything got done. And that is exactly the same when we're working with spirit, that empathy link with people and being able to understand it. Because that's our biggest failing, isn't it? We don't understand people. And again, going back to what I was saying about the energy link, and trying to get where that's
Yeah.
coming.
But you know who you like anyway, Lawrence, don't you? You just know them. Don't know how you know them, but you know them.
Yeah. Well, if you think you've got that auric field, that energy
Mm.
field. Some people
Yeah.
come in on that same resonance, and you're great. My
Yeah.
one and only partner, the minute we met, that was it. We both knew. We both went. We've known each other before.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're just there. Other people, you walk in, you go, hello, and your eyes are saying, go away.
Yeah. So true.
Uh, Emma, how do you know your healer? My mum was, how do you know your healer? How do you know you're a healer? My mum was started on my journey. If I hold a crystal, I can feel heat really good. How would you say what next thing is needed? Right. So I think, Emma, correct me if I'm wrong, you asking there, how do you know if you're a healer? Well, Patrick, you've already said this, have you not?
Yeah, I didn't know at all, to be honest. I was told by so many people that I was a healer, and then I took it from there. That's as honest as I can give it.
Yeah. But at a stage later, you said we're all healers.
Yeah, I think we are. I really do.
Yeah. We're all healers on different levels. You know what?
Yeah.
The opposite us here at the church, we've got a plant nursery, and it's for people who can't work in mainstream employment, who have various challenges in their life. And it's only a very small staff there, and they're all healers
Mm.
because they bring people in, they encourage them on. That's healing, giving confidence. It's not all about putting your hands on people and
No.
saying a prayer. It's just in conversation. It's in the practical way because we open up to that influence of spirit and we have that knowing. Lovely example. A few months ago, the dentist next door to me, they park their cars here, and there's a lovely receptionist, and she's spiritual, but she isn't. She said, I'm not spiritual, but she is. It's just there.
Mm.
And she walked past the door. I was in the church, and I called out, I said, oh, are you all right? And she went, yeah. And I looked, I went, no, you're not. And 2 minutes later, she was in the church sobbing her heart out with real issues, not anything silly. It was real issues she had. That's healing.
Yeah.
So this definition of healing is helping people. Is probably the simplistic way of thinking about it. Now, whether that be through hands-on, through prayer, through absent healing, through practical help, through assisting through troubled times. A lovely lady is in contact with me. Big, strong bear of a lady. She won't mind me saying that because she's not in. Really down to earth lady, and if you first met her, you would think, "Ooh, not sure," But you know what? The support she gives to other people is out of this world because she gets into places a lot of people would fear to tread, and she does good work. And what a brilliant healer.
Yeah.
So, Emma, how do you know you're a healer? We're all healers. We just got to find that realm in which we can operate in. And healing is helping people.
There's some great healing in words, though, Lawrence, isn't there?
Very much so. Very much so. Ooh, we're coming in thick and fast out there. Well done, everybody. Oh, that lovely Fiona. Oh, no, that's. We love Fiona, even though she comes from Liverpool. Still lovely.
Oh, I love her then, Lawrence.
All right. She is. She. Both her and her hubby. They've both got this light around them. They after the first lockdown. How many lockdowns we had? After the
Gosh.
first lockdown, I know, getting repetitive, isn't it? They were in the area to visit family, and because we'd sort of like met online, they dropped in. Ah, great fun. Absolutely lovely. So Fiona's saying, I'm currently working voluntary at the local hospice and incorporating massage and spiritual healing on patients. Healing reduces pain and suffering and enables a peaceful crossing. As a healer and a medium, I am aware that spirit guide for the best for the patient. Very well said, Fiona.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very well said. So, where are we? Mary Dixie sums it up very nicely. The listening ear.
Yeah. And that
Yeah,
helps too, doesn't it? Being able to listen to people.
it does. We got a lovely medium who works the area in normal times or abnormal times or whatever they were. And he said once, just before going on to platform, he went, I always wear a suit when I'm working. He said, I really, it's not me. I don't feel comfortable in the suit and I don't know why I wear it. I said, because you might be the only person to speak to that person all week. You might be the last person they ever get to talk to, and you're showing your professionalism and dedication to spirit. And again, it's that listening ear thing. You
Yeah.
know, we don't know. We all know people who I call a bit like the psychic vampires that
Mm.
you don't say how are you. You said one lady, and it was like, and you would do it. You come in and go, how are you? And as you're saying it in your head, you go, no, don't say that. But you don't know what these people are going through. You don't know
So
how they're
true.
living. You don't know what pressures they got. You don't know the loneliness, the pain, the grief, the sorrow. So it is that listening ear. Very good, Mary.
Yeah. So true.
Uh, yes, I'm going to hold you to that. You're on screen now, Fiona. You promised me more cake. Thank you.
What type of cake is it, Lawrence?
I don't care. Cake. That's
Cake's
it.
cake, yeah.
Cake's cake. I'm happy with cake.
Yeah. So true.
Any more questions? Oh, there we go. Marion Frisbee. I kept being told I was a healer. The son sprained his ankle. I asked if I could try something. So set my intention. Very good.
Hmm.
Placed my hand on his leg and ankle. I could feel pulsing. I didn't tell the son, but asked what he could feel. He described pulsing from foot to knee in the same rhythm as I had experienced. And that started Marion's journey into healing. Philosophy, mediumship, all healing. Very true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what a brilliant link as well. That mother link is so strong.
Yeah, you can't beat that, can you?
I know it's not the case in all times, but generally, yes, that mother energy is just like, wow, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
apparently, I'm getting
powerful.
a date cake. Yes, very true.
Y-
But no, healing is absolutely wonderful, and we're discussing it's. You can't define it. You can't put it into a description. It's healing is
No.
healing. Everybody works differently. It's a bit like mediumship. People say, "Oh, I want to be a medium. I want to be up there on the platform. I want to be giving all these messages." Okay, that's one form of mediumship. What about the other form of mediumship with inspiration, for
Yeah.
poetry, for art, for being a good listener,
Yeah.
for being an organizer, all these things it's all mediumship. I think we're going to have to come up with a new terminology for platform mediums. I think in America they call them message givers. And when I first saw that, I was like, "Ooh, not sure about that." But actually, the way my mind's going, I'm thinking, actually, yeah, I quite like that to differentiate because mediumship is available to everybody. How that mediumship transpires, spirit healing, and the many, many, many countless myriad ways that comes out, or the inspiration side, or the artistic side, or the organizing side, or the kindness, the gentleness. It's all these things is when you open up and you, as Marion quite said, set your intent, because you're working with spirit in whatever field. And it's a bit like if you're going to go out and play football with a team of people, you've all got your roles, you've all got your positions, because you've all talked about it. You all know what you're going to do. And it's the same when you're working with spirit. Spirit are us and we are spirit. And
Yeah.
if you stand there and say, "Come on," they're stood there going, "For what? Come on, what? Come on, what do you want us to do?"
So true.
Ah, so you got a bit of snow out there. Oh, there you go. I must have known you were coming on, so I've got the snowy backdrop on. Make you feel
Oh
at home
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, it was snowing for a while. I don't know if it's still snowing or not, Lawrence, but
Yeah, don't
it was
panic,
heavy.
everybody else over in Ireland.
Yes, it's miles away. You're all right.
Yeah,
So, what happened to Rob then? Did he just couldn't
I
get
have
on or something?
no idea. I don't know. Oh, bugger. I just had a message from somebody else said help, and they've just messaged me saying, "What can I do?" Well, nothing now. Go away. Uh, Ever the host. I think that's where it is. Yeah, I've no
Bless.
idea. It's just a real shame. We'll try and
Yeah.
contact him to make sure he's all right.
Just make sure he's
Uh,
okay. Yes.
yeah, that is the thing. There's no use getting all our rate, and the poor so and so might be under the weather. But anyway, not to
Exactly.
worry. We're having a lovely night. So, not what was planned, but it worked.
No. Well, I was only sitting there watching a football match, so I'm not dressed up or anything. So,
You don't want to watch football. I've always said I must be a very good sportsman because I'm a very bad loser. So I don't go
yeah,
in for competitive things.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Do not
It's
get
not
me
good.
in.
Yeah, it's
No,
not good
don't
to
get me into
lose.
competition. Really not good.
No.
Unless I win.
Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh.
Oh,
So
if any more questions there, anybody, please feel free to post them. If not, we'll draw the evening to the close. Patrick, Patrick
yes.
Monaghan, absolute delight having you on our program tonight.
Well, I was a bit surprised, I must admit. I would have prepared myself better, but you're welcome.
Yeah, no, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for stepping in like that. That's
Well, thank you for
absolutely great.
having me, really. So,
No, absolutely brilliant. That's a nice one. There's a lovely comment from Julie Caswell.
what, get him
My dad,
off?
yeah, what's he doing on here? My dad used to give his GP healing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We have quite a lot of people from the medical profession come in for healing. We had an Indian gent come in, and he was a doctor. We've got a very big cancer unit in Poole Hospital, and he was down here on 6 months secondment, and he kept coming to the church for healing. And I found that quite fascinating,
yeah,
absolutely fascinating. So I'd always have a good natter with him. And I said, "So I take it you are what, Hindu? And he said yes. And I said, but you also come in for the healing? He said yes. And that led to one story. I said, so what is it about healing that attracts you? And he said, we're doing a lot of research on different aspects of cancer care. And he said, and one thing is recorded at Poole Hospital. We've got two wards, and I know that from experience. One is painted blue and one is painted green. The people on the blue ward significantly get better quicker.
Wow,
How interesting.
isn't it?
Yeah, how interesting. So it is lovely. In the orthodox medicine field, there is a lot now of interest. In fact, our local health trust were advertising for a Reiki healer, and that would have been a paid full-time position on the health trust for Reiki healing.
That's
And I'm
cool.
loving seeing like doctors now prescribing diet advice and exercise and different things. We're getting more, this holistic side is becoming more and more prevalent and more understood as well. So onwards and upwards. So no questions, some lovely comments. Everybody's having a little giggle out there. Luann Carter says you're a star. There you go. You're a star, Patrick.
Oh,
And
that's
I will second.
very kind to say that, but just me. Thank you.
There is one last question that's quite interesting, actually.
Okay.
How to quantify what the answer is. Jenny Hayward, what's the best healing result you've had on someone?
Myself. Um, ooh, I have got one. I don't know whether I should say it over the air because I don't know how to put it over. I have a little girl that I send healing to. When she was born, she was perfect, and I mean perfect, beautiful looking. But she suddenly developed something, and she was after a few months, she had curled up hands and was dribbling. And I asked the grandmother if she'd send me a photograph of her so I can. I like to work off a photograph. So I've been
Yeah.
giving her healing all the time now. I do it in the mornings and I do it at night. But now she just looks perfect. And I got a message from her that the doctors don't even know how she's like this now because she just looks perfect.
How
Although she
wonderful.
can't walk, although she can't walk and she can't talk, she can talk in her own language that the parent understands. So that's good enough. And the
Yeah,
walking, they said she'll never walk, but she's just starting to walk around the furniture now.
brilliant.
So that I'm proud of. I've got all the messages on my phone, and I can send you them, and you can see it yourself. But obviously, I can't send it on here
No, no,
now.
no,
So
no, no. Don't share details,
no, I can't.
especially
No, I
with
couldn't. I couldn't. But that I'm
minor.
proud of, Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah, and quite rightly too. We had a gentleman who used to come to the church many years ago when there was a different healing circle in effect. They're a lovely group run by Sylvia, bless her, she's a smashing lady. Anyway, a chap started coming to that. His name was Peter, and he was a bugger. It's the only way to describe him. He was either a bugger or a lovable rogue. He fell in that category. But he was such a nice guy, and you couldn't help but warm to him within seconds. And after coming for about a month or so, it then came out. He made it public knowledge that he'd only given something like 7 months to live. 9 years later, he passed the spirit,
Amazing.
and he
That's
attended that healing circle so he was there more than a lot of the healers were, quite frankly. And there's no disrespect to the healers. He was there, probably the most consistent person in that healing circle. So, wow,
that's
something good
wonderful,
can
isn't
go.
it?
Yeah, ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for bearing with us. Patrick, oh my goodness, what can I say? Apart from thank you,
What?
thank you, thank you.
Why did I get you?
Out of, you gave me the paddle when I was in that certain
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
canal.
yeah, yeah. That creek.
That's the one. Yeah. So thank you. Everybody's enjoyed it. They've all stuck with it. They've all had a little giggle as well, which again, I
Good.
always
That's
say a
what
good
you
laugh
need.
is healing.
Yeah.
Oh God, do we need it now?
And
So thank
and
you, thank you.
I got the message from you when and I put LOL, but Denise texted me, Denise Hutton, and she said get on there now. So I had to come on.
Thank you, Denise. Well, this is what we've got to do these days. We've got to
Yeah.
be very flexible about things and very reactive to different things. So thank you, much appreciated.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Finally, just a few notices. Tomorrow morning, 10:45 on Zoom, we will be having a first of our divine services. And tomorrow is going to be taken by Stephen Trolland, who will be joining us from Aviemore. Sunday afternoon, live within the church, a real life church service at 3 p.m. This will be chaired by the lovely Tony Goswell, who's in the room tonight, and myself will be taking the service. I'll be doing the mediums part of that service. Doors open 2:30. Service starts at 3 p.m. till 4 p.m. Please, people only in the area. These travel restrictions are in effect, and we have got to be in the spirit of things. I've said to people with message saying, "Could I come along?" And one of them is like a 100-mile round trip, and I've just said, "No,
Oh
I'm really
wow.
sorry. That's really indefensible." So it is only for people in the local area. However, it will be streamed live on the Facebook page to view only. So that's 3 o'clock tomorrow. Monday night at 7 p.m., Saturday morning at 9 a.m., we have our online meditation taken by myself. Only a short meditation, nice little 5-minute pick me up. Then on Wednesday night, we have our Spiritualism Lyceum night. These Lyceum nights are in place of our Wednesday service, which we've cancelled during this lockdown. They will be dedicated totally to spiritualism and aspects of, and they'll be taken by a variety of people. And this Wednesday, you've got me again. Now, I'm not one for self promoting, but I did think, you know what, I need to work. I actually need to work because I haven't worked for so long. But the topic of the conversation will be the way forward. So we're going to look at different aspects of relating to churches, centres, groups, etc. For this year and contending with these restrictions, lockdowns, the unknowingness, and just a general discussion. I know there's quite a few people who are actively involved in the running of churches and centres will be joining us. But it's just going to be a good little opportunity to talk about, how much we move online, what we're doing online, helping out where we can with other churches in presenting their live streams. There's all manner of things. I'm not the pessimist, but I am pretty much looking at 2021 still having major, major disruption right the way throughout the year. So we actually need. Last year, it sort of like just happened. It was like, oh, it's off the moment and everything's happening. This year, I feel the energy is shifting. We're going to say, well, do you know what? This is what it's going to be. So we'll plan around that. And yeah, if things change for the better suddenly, great, happy days, we can open up. But if they don't, this dependency on people giving their time freely and things, there's all areas we've got to look at and examine and think, well, what can we do for the best? Anyway, that's Wednesday night, 7 o'clock on Zoom. Then Friday night, we have another night with our Spiritist friends. Saturday night, we have a Zoom presentation with Ashley Robinson from Wimbledon Church, and he'll be talking about reincarnation. So that always invokes quite the discussion. So yeah, yeah, a full week ahead for us. Look forward to you if you can join in on any of those events. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and having that patience with me. I must admit, I was looking like a startled rabbit in the headlight at the beginning of the evening, thinking I'll go get my cat in a minute. Oh, here's Charlie. Patrick, again, thank you very much, sir. Wish
Thank
you
you,
all a
Lawrence.
safe. Oh, Paul Dodd. The cake's in the post. Well, can it get here for Monday because it's my birthday? I
Oh,
want
better
cake
say
for
happy
my.
birthday then, Lawrence, in case we forget.
I want cake for my birthday. Take care, everybody. Have a peaceful, safe night. Look after yourselves, and always remember what I say. You know, examine everything in your mind. If you can change it and have an effect on it, keep it with you. If you can't, just let it go. Yeah. If you can't do anything, why are you carrying it?
Yeah.
Take care. Lots of love. Good night.
Good night.